One of the questions that many parents ask is, when do I need to bring my child to the doctor? And certainly with experience, there are times when really we are not necessary. And in particular, if we talk about the most common illness, the common cold, I think that's a very good example of what we are trying to do. Cold symptoms typically are runny nose, congestion, and cough, but generally these symptoms are not overwhelming. They don't make a child unusually ill. And so if we happen to have a child who has those kind of symptoms, but is active, is eating, is not particularly irritable, then we certainly have some time, and we don't necessarily have to bring a child immediately to the doctor. However, a child who becomes quite irritable, crying, a child who is not eating, a child who loses energy, becomes lethargic, as we say, just wants to lay, not showing the typical joy of childhood, those are times when we really would recommend that a child come to the doctor. So it's really an illness. If it's mild, the symptoms are mild, they're really expected, just like a common cold. They don't seem to show any unusual changes such as those we mentioned. Then they can be watched at home. Now, a child who is younger certainly would be more of a concern. So an infant with a cold, certainly we would be a little more concerned. And clearly, the child in the 1 to 2 month range that has a cold or any illness, certainly you'd want to bring them in sooner than a child that's older that perhaps we can evaluate a little bit better. Also, parents really have good instincts. We think of animals as having instincts, but parents do too. And I think if you instinctually feel that your child is acting a little bit unusually ill, then you would always want to bring them into the doctor.